Within 5 years, 50% of all new businesses vanish. At the same time, thousands of healthy cells mutate into something unrecognizable. We often attribute both of these events to bad luck, a sudden market shift, or a random genetic lottery. But systems rarely fail because of a lack of effort or random chance. They fail because their internal mechanics are overwhelmed by the environment they operate in. In business, this is macroeconomics, global weather patterns like inflation and interest rates. You cannot stop the rain, but you have to build an umbrella into your pricing strategy, or the business will drown. The biological equivalent is the cellular terrain. When a lifestyle is defined by chronic stress and environmental toxins, the internal climate becomes suffocating and acidic. Ayurveda calls this prajnaparata, or cellular amnesia. In a toxic climate, individual units forget their communal purpose. They stop acting as part of a larger team and begin to scatter. If you ignore the massive external climate, you guarantee that the microscopic units living within it are set up for destruction. To solve the systemic failure, we have to look past the global weather and focus on the local fighter, the single business in a market, and the single cell in your body. A healthy cell breathes. Through a process called respiration, the mitochondria take in oxygen to generate clean, intelligent energy. A healthy business manages its local game through microeconomics. It focuses on pricing elasticity, the ability to raise prices without losing customers. This power only comes when a business provides unique, essential value that people can't find elsewhere. At this microscopic level, both a cell and a startup thrive when they maintain efficient control over their immediate resources. Disasters begin when a system ignores its primary fuel. In finance, that fuel is liquid cash. Many founders focus on paper profit, which is often just an accounting illusion of money you haven't actually received yet. A business can survive for years without showing a profit, but it will collapse the very second it runs out of cash to pay its vendors or its rent. Biology mirrors this. When the cellular terrain is saturated with toxicity, the cell is deprived of oxygen. Its clean mitochondrial engine begins to suffocate. Dr. Otto Warburg discovered that a suffocating cell doesn't just stop. To stay alive, it reverts to an ancient, primitive survival mode called fermentation. This mechanical shift in how cells process energy was significant enough to earn the Nobel Prize in 1931. Fermentation is an expensive way to live. It requires the cell to consume sugar at 50 times the normal rate. The damaged cell becomes a selfish rogue mutation, refusing to die and multiplying out of control just to sustain itself. Whether it is a bankrupt business or a malignant tumor, the behavior is the same. The system has abandoned its long-term purpose in favor of desperate, short-term survival tactics because it is starving for resources. Survival is a physics problem. It is solved by cleaning the environment and optimizing where you spend your energy. In corporate finance, you must ensure your return on investment is always higher than your cost of capital. If you borrow money at 12% to buy a machine returning 10%, you are destroying the business. You apply this same logic to your body. You restrict low-return inputs like sugar to starve rogue mutations. The first rule is triggering autophagy through fasting. By going 16 to 24 hours without food, you force your healthy cells to find and recycle the weak, mutated cells for fuel. The second rule is creating metabolic flexibility. By cutting refined carbohydrates and shifting to high-quality fats, you provide clean energy for healthy cells while starving cancer cells of the glucose they need. And finally, you must heavily oxygenate the tissue. Breathwork and movement flood the body with oxygen, creating a hostile environment for the fermentation-dependent cells that thrive in suffocating conditions. Warren Buffett famously said that finance and accounting are the language of business. If you don't learn the language, you cannot navigate the terrain. When you align these mechanics, whether you are reading a balance sheet or optimizing your cellular metabolism, you stop being a victim of chance. You become the architect of your own growth.